I'm going to talk about sleep state, dreams, things of that nature. I used to have dreams of flying. It's been a while. I guess the kryptonite got to me or something. One other, maybe really may all be part of the same pot here. One other recurring dream is that I am on a journey or I'm on
Before you go further, we want to hear it fully, but recurring dream meaning active in my vibration. So another dream that happens frequently in response to an active vibration I've got going on is take it.
I am either on my way on a journey, or I am on my way to do a project of what I get paid to do. And in either case, I never get there on time. I leave the hotel and I'm going to go somewhere, and then I'm going to go back to the hotel. I can't find my way back. Or I go on to a recording session where I have to set up a lot of microphones, get the musicians all assembled. I have trouble getting it all done on time. And, I wake up in a cold sweat. Are these all tied together?
Well, what's manifesting in your dreams state is based upon what you're thinking and feeling. And so when you have a dream and you accept that the dream is a manifestation, manifestations are only indicators of vibration. So pain in your body is indication of vibration. Dreaming about pain in your body is an indicator. So this dream is an indicator of vibration. How do you feel in the dream? That's the first question.
Frustrated.
So then if you feel frustrated as the dream unfolds, that means there's frustration that's happening before the dream. In other words, you're thinking thoughts that cause frustration that are the basis for the creation of that dream.
Right.
So the dreams are just indicators that you're spending more time in thoughts of how it's not working out than thoughts of how it is working out. It's all just indicators to help you guide your thoughts. What it really is about is, and we've been talking about this all day here today, it's about trying to squeeze out of action and determination more juice than there is there to squeeze out of it, and not trying to use enough of the leverage of this vortex and this imagination. We're not encouraging that you wrestle one more thing to the ground and that you defy odds with your energy and determination. What we're saying is, go with the flow of who you are. Let the universe pamper you. Let the universe organize it. Let the universe line it up. But in order to get the universe actively and effectively and efficiently involved in your life, you've got to do your pre-paving only when you're in the vortex. So next time you find yourself in a recording session that isn't going well, or in a moment of your life where you're feeling frustrated, that's not the time to sit down and say, now I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to deal with this. That's not the time. That's the time to take a walk. That's the time to go to a movie. That's the time to take a bath. That's the time to take a swim. That's the time to eat something good. That's the time to get in the vortex. That's the time to look through an album if it pleases you when you do. That's the time to chill. It's not the time to try. Really, we know this message sounds backwards of what you've heard most of your life. The harder you try when you're out of the vortex, the worse it gets. Really. Because this is a universe based on inclusion. There's no exclusion. So when you look at what you want, you include it. When you look at what you don't want, you include it. And so the realist in you is tripping you up. And you know that you have the ability to imagine because you do. In other words, you imagine often. You have a very big life. Things are going very well for you on many, many fronts. So this has been a good conversation, hasn't it? In other words, do you want to be realists or do you want to be really good at imagining? From this conversation, it's pretty easy to say that, isn't it? What do you want to imagine? Do you want to imagine things that allow you to be in the vortex or things that make it impossible for you to be in the vortex? These are easy questions at this point, aren't they? Every single day, without an exception in this room, you are in the vortex for a moment. And if you will tune yourself to what that feeling is and acknowledge this is an in the vortex moment. What do I do now? What do I do now? And you'll just acknowledge it and milk it just a little bit. You've done more work in that small effort of noticing you're in the vortex and attempting to milk it than you would with 100 days of hard labor at things that you care about. The leverage is huge. It's just huge. It's just huge. Working to be in the vortex and then practicing it when you are there, and then showing yourself how easy it is to speak to your child when you're in the vortex, and then noticing the response that you get will make you never, ever, 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 ever want to waste your breath as you parent outside the vortex. You will never want to redirect or guide anything from outside the vortex again once you've had just a little exposure to doing it deliberately from inside the vortex. When you hook up with this power, this energy that creates worlds, this energy that keeps your Earth spinning in its orbit, this energy, when you tap into it and you focus it into some phase of your life that matters to you, you will discover what true leverage is. And you will begin to proclaim to people, as they say, what do you do? Hardly anything. I hardly do anything. What do you mean? Well, I used to do a lot, and I used to work really hard. And I still go through the motions of some of that, because if I don't show up, they don't pay me. But what I really do is watch for glimmering, shimmering little snatches of evidence that I'm in the vortex, and then I give my undivided attention to that with the express and singular purpose of training myself into the frequency of true leverage and true power and true worthiness and true knowing and true creation. That's what I do. And if you look around your world and you see the writers of songs that have lasted through the ages, that's what they did. They found a little bit of that, and it lasted them a really, really, really long time. When you see something that someone created that has lasted, whether it is a business, whether it is a structure, whether it is a sculpture, whether it is a work of art, whether it is a body of work, when something lasts, it is because someone was in tune with the energy of leverage long enough that it got a really good start. So we have enjoyed this interaction more than words can express. It is satisfying to come together with those like you who are coming to know who you are. You had a little snatch of the vortex here today, and we know we were annoying most of the day. We know that. But you had moments of pure in the vortex-ness, and we'll take that. You can be mad at us all day long, and if we can evoke from you 3 or 4 good segments where you resonate completely with who you are, we know that you are forever changed. We know that your vibration is shifted enough that over the next few days, even over the next few weeks, that your vibration is shifted enough that you will see the evidence of the vibrational shift that has taken place here. We think it's time for anyone who wants to be the powerful creator that you were born to be to stop justifying what you want by exploring what is at all. We think it's time for you to make the leap into the vortex and leave what you have known as reality behind. And when you leave what you've known as reality behind, you'll begin living real time in this vortex. We're not asking you to croak today. That's not what we're asking. We're not asking you to take a complete departure from everything that you know. What we're asking you to do is to accept the vibrational nature of your being and to let the way you feel be the only thing that really matters to you. We're asking you to care about how you feel, because that's the only way that you will know at all your proximity to your vortex. We're asking you to no longer ask anyone else to behave any differently in order to affect your emotion. We're asking you to accept that you are in complete control about how you feel because you have the ability to focus. We're asking you to stop beating up on yourself or others. We're asking you to turn off your televisions for 30 days. Turn off your televisions for 30 days. You can feel the pains of withdrawal all around the room. Turn off your television for 30 days. Cancel your meetings with other people. Withdraw from the reality in every way you can. Now, you have to decide what you can and cannot do, but withdraw from as much of your reality as you can for 30 days and explore the recesses and the resources of your vortex. Fire up the passion of your imagination. Buy a notebook and call it your book of positive aspects and write in it as much as you have time for. And tune yourself in these small efforts to the vibration of who you really are. And on about day 3 or 4, inspiration to act in new ways will begin to occur to you. And as the inspiration occurs, follow through with it if you can in the moment that you think of it. Make the phone call, move in the direction of it, feel the pull of it. It's like Source taking you by the hand and saying, you've been mentioning this for quite a long while and I want to show you where it is. You've been mentioning that for quite a long while and I want to show you where it is. And then document in your notebook the evidence of things that you've wanted for a while that are now vivid enough that you are seeing them in your mind's eye, seeing them in the environment around you, seeing the evidence of them, but even more than seeing it, or hearing it, or smelling it, or tasting it, or touching it, feeling the vividness of it. If someone says to you, you seem different, what's going on with you? Tell them, I'm withdrawing from reality. And before they muster too much alarm, say to them, but don't worry, I'm focusing into my vibrational reality, which really is present tense. As they say, well, you do seem happier. Say to them, everything that I want and everything that I am is in this vortex where I am now focusing. And I've discovered that I'm addicted to this expanded version of me and that I cannot go back. Then say to them, I tried to go back for quite a while. I didn't really know about the existence of this vortex, and I was clinging to reality, but it was tearing me apart. And so I let go of reality, and I began thinking in terms of vibrational reality. And now there's no stress in my body. Now there's no pain in my body. Now there's no anger in my heart. Now there's no tension in my being. Now there's no resistance around me. And now I'm floating free in this vortex of cooperative components where all kinds of remarkable things are presenting themselves to me in just perfect timing. It's like the entire universe has been established just to support me. And your friend will walk away scratching his head, probably. But when you reach that place that you are ready to announce to anyone who you see that you have freed yourself from the clinging to this morning's eggs and that you are now floating free in the expectation of all things as you have most wanted them to be. The body weight that I choose, the clarity that I seek, the friendships that I adore, the relationships with my children and my parents and my siblings and my friends that I have long been seeking. A feeling of patriotism about this nation in which I so proudly live. A feeling of exhilaration and appreciation about this planet that spins in its orbit and all that came before I got here in order to add support to that which I am. Appreciation for the infrastructure of my world, the economic infrastructure and the engineering infrastructure, the infrastructure that moves the food around, the infrastructure that moves the goods around, the appreciation that I feel for those who are trucking things from place to place and those that are repairing the roads to make it possible that it moves. The people that have the ideas and the people that have the businesses. My appreciation for the big businesses that are at the heart of so much of the commerce that is serving so many of us. My appreciation for the big government that is at the heart of so much of the structure that makes it possible for us to move in the organized way that we do. My appreciation for the people who build the houses and the people who cook the food. My appreciation for all of that is just running rampant as I stand inside the vortex and realize that this reality that I am now observing in a slighter fashion has always and only ever been the bouncing off place for that which I am creating through the power of my imagination. I realize now that I was always off base when I had imagined myself into a new place and that I expected reality to live up to that which was always going to be, that which was to come in terms of manifestation. sensation.